Oh, sorry, we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you guys to meet. Oh, hold on. I gotta turn off my
Such this ponytail.
my my television.
Haircuts.
That's frightening the kids.
How do I turn off my television?
Get in.
Probably get the remote.
I know that part.
That usually works. That usually works.
We're not working remote.
It looks like somebody's not ready today.
No, I was
You know,
ready.
I had to give you that dig because I wasn't ready this morning.
I don't understand where my remote is.
My nails are so ghetto.
Hey, Preston. Oh, here it is. All right, I'm just gonna turn this down so you guys don't need to hear it. All right. So, where'd you go? No, I'm here and you're gone.
I'm here. No, I'm here.
All right. So, let's get into the mess. So, ladies and gentlemen, I need to let everybody know that Miss Tamar Braxton over here, her writer said that, she cannot do shows on certain days or between certain times. And she has to have only the yellow and the green Skittles in her trailer. And that she has to have her coffee made before she does it. She prefers not to brew it herself, and that should be made for her. That she should have a foot massage before she even steps out of her trailer or gets out of bed. And she wants one that actually has like one of those paraffin ones.
Oh my gosh! Just stop it, Rochelle. Stop it. Stop it.
Why do we have to stop?
Because all lies. That was
What
not
part?
the case.
Explain to me which part was the lie, and why'd you say I hate you so early in the morning?
Because you started off with that Tamar stuff, and I feel like she's just so drama. I would never, ever, ever.
You- So, I was explaining to someone yesterday that those are characters. I mean, those are like, I think
don't think with her, I really don't think it's a character because her family feels so strongly in regards to how she acts. So it's a lot of sometimes it can start off as a character, but then it evolves into that's you.
possibly, but let's play the devil's advocate.
Okay.
What if she was the one that didn't get what she needed growing up? What if she felt abandoned because she was a baby, like
Okay, and I understand that. I
a child
understand that.
when Tony left? And I think when Tony left, before their parents divorced.
I listen, I have no clue. All I know is that it's just too much. It's just too much. And being compared to someone that is just too much, you know,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? It's just too much. It's just too much. I mean, I would have to love her from afar.
Okay, so okay, Mariah Carey?
Why are you picking these people that are too much?
because 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 I'm trying to say that you're diva-ish.
Too much. It's too much. That's like this guy that I follow. He says that when he's does his food reviews. I love him. It's too much.
Wait, which one?
Too much. I don't know what his nationality is. I think he started off somewhere else first, but now he lives in SoCal. And when
Okay.
you look at him, you don't know what he is. He is Chinese, Filipino, Mexican, black. I don't know what he is. I have no clue. And I like that about him. You know what I'm saying? He has a couple
Yeah.
face tattoos. I don't know. But
Face tattoos.
he's like little small ones like right here. He's like an international person. I don't know. I just like him.
Do you want to say hi to Curtis today?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see if he'll come out.
It's pouring rain here. It's pouring.
So I live in Southern Florida. There's no such thing as pouring rain.
It's pouring.
That's just daily life. Like it's just like we're always in a
Mhm.
hurricane zone. Yeah.
And it's gonna be like this. I think for the rest of the week it's gonna rain. So this is my life currently. Hello, Curtis. Good
Hello, hello,
afternoon.
hello, hello,
Or
everyone. Hey,
morning,
Bill.
depending where you're located. Where are you?
I'm near Houston, actually, just
Oh, okay,
north
you're
of Houston,
Houston.
Spring, Texas.
Your afternoon. I lived in Houston for 2 years.
Okay.
Good. You guys talk. I got to pee.
Yeah, I lived there for 2 years. I moved back the end of last year, 2025.
Mhm. Good, 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 good. So, how you been? Is it Miss Serenity?
I've been good. There's no complaints on my end. You know, one
Good,
day at a
good.
time. That's all
Yeah.
I can do
Life
right
is
now.
good, and it sounds like you're getting along with everybody.
Literally, no complaints. Seriously.
Good, good, good.
Seriously. None. You know? I don't have uh, yeah. There's no one that's in my yeah. I didn't even think about it that way. Thanks for making me think of that. Literally, I think I'm good with everybody.
That's good.
Seriously.
That's
There's
good.
no one that's on my naughty list currently.
Right,
And
right, right.
yourself?
Yeah, life is good. Life is good. Yeah, ideally, I don't really have too many issues with people. Even if they don't, even if they might have an issue with me, I may not even know about it because a lot of times I'm completely oblivious to that stuff. It's just whatever.
Oh, you can't change it anyway. I always say
So
that.
she changed up on you, Curtis, because when she was talking to me, she was telling me that I was treating her like she was too much, and that she told me she hated me this morning. And then she told me after she said she hated me, she said, "I have my coffee. I could talk to you now."
Oh, okay.
You know the funny you know when people tell stories, they always forget their portion. You know
What's
that
a partition?
I don't
What's a
portion
partition?
So, are you
portion
saying he provoked you?
portion. See, we're already starting. So I didn't just start off with I disliked Bill this morning. He sent me something that I was like, oh, okay, okay, okay.
What did I send you that set you off? All I said was good morning.
We're not going to deal with lies this morning.
That's too funny.
It's true.
So
It's just
Curtis,
Tuesday. Did you see that Jesse Jackson died?
I did, and it's definitely a sad day for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely for sure. Yeah, I did.
you know, I'm gonna say this. It
Uh-oh.
is a reflective day. I don't know if it's a sad day because Jesse Jackson, they said, um, hadn't woke up in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So, I believe, and I'm saying this on public, if I'm just laying there, pull the plug, don't waste the money. I understand people want to hang on to hope, but that's not living.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
it's when they're sticking around that long, it's for the people that are walking around. It's for the family
Right,
members
right,
that
right,
decide
right,
not
right.
to. Because I
yeah,
remember when um, my grandmother had a DNR, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she had sickle cell, so so she was always in and out the hospital, her whole life, And this last time when she went in, she knew it was her last time, but I didn't, of
Mhm.
course. So I remember going to go visit her. Like my grandmother, I saw my grandmother every day, I went to go visit her every day. And the last time I saw her alive, she just wanted me to know that she loved me. My grandmother
Mhm.
wasn't that person that like, "Oh, I love you." She wasn't, old school. They gave you kids. You knew I had no doubt that she loved me
Right,
whatsoever, but
right.
she wasn't one of those people that, doted on you like I am with my grandkids, kissing them all
Mhm,
on their forehead, tickling them. That wasn't my grandmother, you
mhm,
know. But the last time I saw her, I said, "I'll be back." And she said, "I just want you to know I love you." I said, I know you love me." She said, "I want you to know that I love you." She ended up dying the next morning.
mhm.
And my mom and my aunt were at the hospital, right? And even though my grandmother had a DNR, they still asked them, "Hey, what do you want us to do?" My mom and my grandmother and my aunt both said simultaneously, "Save her." Every light went out in the hospital when they said that. They had to get the backup generator to try to pull in the crash cart. They couldn't get it through the emergency doors. So they're pumping on her, but they need to be able to shock her. When she was really gone, then all the lights and everything came back on. And I just felt like that was her divine intervention at that time because she was like, "Listen, I've lived my whole life in pain." Because she was always in pain. She always had a brave face. If you know anything about sickle cell individual, it's called they're in crisis because they're in chronic pain from like head to toe. And she always had a big, this perfect face. My grandmother was always perfect. When I say perfect, you were never going to catch her with a hair out of place, lashes not
Where did Curtis
done.
go?
I don't know. He must have had to take a break.
Okay. I just hope because you're offending people today, so want to make sure that he didn't run.
Whatever. Cause my offensive butt can go right on to turn it on Hulu and call it a day. Seriously. No love lost.
Oh, come on.
No,
Come
seriously.
on.
Look at it. And not mad.
Who?
I'm a Gemini. Ooh, no love lost. Look at the other little twin will be like, what are we doing next?
Right?
Pull the other one out the closet when I need her.
So have you watched any because I haven't, the next top model like
Oh, I did. I
documentary?
watched it. I watched it.
So
I watched it.
I haven't watched it yet, but I got into like a conversation with some friends yesterday. And I was like, I don't like the fact that they're making this about Tyra Banks when it's was the show about Miss J not being able to walk? What's the
Oh,
show about?
at the end, he indicated that he had a stroke. I think like 2020 he had a stroke. And now he's in a wheelchair. But no, the show was basically you have to realize things were different 20 years ago, you know.
Yeah,
And the show basically just showed how, which I'm sure there are many shows that just manipulate the participants,
absolutely.
that it was no benefit for them at the end of the day. I think the issue that most people had it this is what I had an issue with when I watched it. Curtis, we're talking about America's Next Top Model, what they're having on Netflix. Have you seen it? They have like a
No.
documentary. Um, is that she really took no accountability
But how
because there
could
were
you take
some things.
accountability? It was a business, and at the end of
Right, but
the
still, some things were wrong in
and
regards
she was
to
an employee.
young girls being touched inappropriately.
Okay, all
There's
right.
different things that took place for these young women. Like one of them, and it was like she was actually raped on camera
Mm.
because she was
What?
drugged. Production didn't stop it. Their rule was if there was more, like, for example, If they went to the bathroom by themselves, they wouldn't film, but if they went in the bathroom with someone else, then they would film. So she said she literally had 2 bottles of wine herself, and she's a tiny girl at that time, tiny. And they filmed the whole thing. Like, she said her eyes were rolled in the back of her head, you know? So, I'm saying things like that. Of course, it's a business, but in any business, when you
Yeah.
go back and you realize I shouldn't have done it that way, even you in a managerial position, I know that there are situations that I shouldn't have taken them that way, even though upper management told me that I could.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I apologize, you know?
So
Part
I
of it is
haven't seen that.
ignorance, part of it was, my ego. I apologize because I didn't handle it correctly. And I think that's what the biggest thing with Tyra, people didn't like because she didn't really take accountability.
So that's wrong. I haven't watched the show, everyone, so understand that. I just saw the clip. But what I will say, and this is something that I've known for years with reality shows, not celebrity reality shows, but like reality shows, that they keep them pumped with liquor.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
The Bachelor and Bachelorette and all those type of shows. Which Kurt, I've never watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
You just
Uh,
heard about that, huh?
no, but I've just you see clips and stuff, or
Yeah,
you might see a talk show and someone will be on it. But coming from LA, you know a lot of people that produce those shows
yeah,
or showrunners, and
yeah.
they're liquored up all the time.
All the
Like,
time.
they're encouraged to drink. So
Absolutely.
that part is sad.
Absolutely.
Um, that part is sad. I just didn't understand why the
Like, it was like one of the girls that won, I can't think it was Danielle. She won, I forgot what season. And she said she was having like a hard time. She was, you know who Chanel Iman is, right?
no, I really never watched the show.
No, well, she's not from the show. She's actually a very well-known model.
Okay,
She's a pretty girl. And they were in the same house together, I think with like Ford models. And she literally asked why Danielle wasn't getting booked on jobs. Now the crazy thing is this: if the show happened now, she would have blew up. But back then, um, like different designers didn't want like those models on their show because they thought it would take away from their brand.
who are those models?
From American Next Top Model, they didn't want people from reality TV shows.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
They didn't want reality TV shows, individuals, marketing their brand because they thought it would take away. Now, 20 years later, that's all you do is, you know, market someone's brand, you know. So she was upset because Tyra said she knew she was struggling and she knew there was something that she could do about it, but she opted not to. So she apologized for that.
Okay.
But to her, Tyra didn't tell us that, but she told us that Tyra told her. But that hurt her because she said she was out there for 15 years struggling, and Tyra said she could have did something, but she opted not to.
Okay. Curtis, this is all new to me too. So,
Yeah.
what's going on in your world? 'Cause I can see your eyes glazing over.
Well, interesting enough, I don't follow the celebrities at all. I hear tidbits and bits of information and stuff like that. But years ago, as my son was much younger, he's grown now, but he wanted to be in. He said he was watching. We were watching something on TV. This is years ago, and he said, "Dad, I want one of those." And it was like an Oscar or a Tony Award or something like that. And I said, "Whoa!" I said, "Curtis, you can't." He's a junior, and I said, "Curtis, oh, you can't get that. You have to be an actor." And he said, "Well, that's what I want to do. I want to be an actor." And it's no doubt in my mind that he would make an excellent actor. I actually did theater in school for quite a bit of time, and so I was pretty good myself. So there's no doubt in my mind he would be a good actor. But I had to pause for that for a moment because, prior to him even asking that, I had heard of stories where the young boys and girls were, you know, uh, being, abused, you look at some of the celebrities, some of these shows that were on Nickelodeon, way back when the kids were young. These young people have tattoos all over their face. Some of them aren't even alive anymore. And it's absolutely sickening, disgusting. Uh, and so I was, as much as in the past I had thought about, man, I wonder where could he have been? Where could he have gone with that idea? There's no doubt in my mind that he would have been good as an actor, but I'm so glad that as a parent, I had to say no. I had to say, absolutely no way. You will not get a chance to get your fangs into my child. And it's absolutely a disgusting place. It's sickening, um, in all of that. And there's a lot to be said about those people. They're evil. They're evil. They're evil. And
You should have been on my show on Sunday because I needed some help. I had a total meltdown.
I'm getting
I, I
emotional,
I
and
watched
that
your show, Bill.
hasn't even happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't even happen to your child, but just thinking about it, it just breaks my heart.
It's
I
it's
was
it, it's the
watching.
energy that Curtis just brought that I wanted to bring, but I started getting messages while I was on it, like that's offensive or this or why are we talking about this? And I thought it was a topic we all should be talking about.
Bill, if I can say this really quick here and without saying any names,
Yeah,
I've witnessed that with a particular person before on a call, or matter of fact, when we were doing LinkedIn audio. And so I've witnessed that from that particular person, and so I felt your pain. I really did, because I thought it was a great conversation. I listened to almost an entire conversation. So I thought it was a great conversation, but the only thing that I did not like, was that when this person came on or these left comments, saying that it was, you obviously know who I'm talking about, uh,
yeah.
saying that it was this way, this way, this way. We live in such a world now that uh, that you can barely say anything about someone, or a group of people, and it all of a sudden you say something about them, it's offensive. It's you're racist, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, and there's a whole lot going on with that entire conversation. Not just your conversation, but in general. There's a lot of stuff that's going on around that space, man. A lot of stuff, a lot of history that a lot of people don't even know what they're talking about in regards to the history behind it. And so there are times, man, you just have to hold your ground, brother.
I did, but if you noticed that normal fire that I have, I kind of like balanced it
Because
out.
yeah, because you know what? Because you were trying to be safe. You're trying to walk a tight rope, so to speak, and make everybody comfortable. And Bill, everybody is not going to be comfortable, brother. You do what you do.
Yeah, but
It's a conversation that can't, you know, and as a
It is
woman
so. Mhm.
that has been touched inappropriately as a child, it's never a comfortable situation. You know, I didn't express mine till I was, grown. And then even when I did express it, I was told, why didn't you tell us sooner?
Mm.
And let's forget about it. Not not anger, not anguish, just okay, we can't do anything about it now because that happened when you were a child.
Well,
Not like that person is still around. That person's still around. That person is still walking around. They're still in existence. But to be told, okay, that was then.
in most cases, in all honesty, serenity, and it's not to let the person off the hook, but in most cases, I too dealt with that abuse when I was younger, by a family member. And, to be honest, even when I told my mom about it, uh, this is hindsight now, or I mean, again, not so much hindsight, but as I think about it later now as an adult, my mom was like said the same thing, exact same words, "How come you didn't tell me sooner?" And only to really look back and use my spidey senses, uh, to tell me that in most cases that it happened to my mother. And so she did not know how to approach it herself.
No, in my case, it had happened to my mom. So
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was a repeated cycle, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I made sure that it
Absolutely,
stopped once I had,
absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
my daughter, my child. I mean, I guess I was just a lot more open. I know a lot of people, sugarcoat and they don't want their kids to know about different things that are out there. But I always felt like I'd rather tell them than the outside world tell them their perspective, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So
But yeah, a lot of times when you have people respond that way, in most cases, they have dealt with the same thing, and they, in most cases, don't have not known how to approach it, and
oh
your
shit.
forwardness, um, really kinda just, uh, is surprising to them in
Right.
ways.
I'm shocked that you said that, by the way, both of you guys. I'm proud of you because that's mentioning it, it opens up the gates for other people.
The thing about it is that once you actually say it out loud, you find out that you're most definitely not alone.
Absolutely
You
not.
know, when you
Yeah.
sit around and have brunch with your girlfriends, it may be out of 10 people, it may be one that has
Yeah,
not.
absolutely. Facts. Facts, Serenity.
Or
Absolutely.
even that one just hasn't decided to admit it to the group, but will later on
Yeah.
call you and be like, "Hey,
Right.
by the
Right.
way, Serenity, that happened to me too."
Do
Yeah,
you think it was
absolutely.
because you 2 are in the same, I think, bracket, about 10 years older than me. Um, but, we were all children in the '80s, right? Or right? So, do you think it was because we weren't coddled? Like like your grandchildren.
No,
Your grandchildren, right?
One second, baby girl. Hold on one second.
I don't think so. No, not at all.
Because we
Because
were
it didn't come from someone that was like, no.
we were free to roam and go about, and no one knew where we were.
Yeah, but most people it's a family member. So it's not like you're roaming out there, you know what I'm saying? This is someone that people trust you to be around. Oh yeah, go to your aunt's house, go to, that type of thing. Where like a lot of people I know, they tell me like it was one of their cousins or, you know what I'm saying? So no, I think it's more so just having the conversation cuz I've had the conversation with my kids basically like not day 1, but you have conversations now like don't let someone touch you here, it's inappropriate, all those kind of things. So the world just changed. And obviously the world didn't change because it's still happening. Nothing has changed.
What disturbs me, and I understand why you don't. I understand why you're not, but there's so many people that aren't aware of how disgusting things that are going on right now are. And we had a trial. Sorry, Curtis. We had a trial last week, and when the attorney general was asked about children that had been abused. And I mean, if you've seen any of it, the abuse was not only sexual. Um, she said, but the Dow Jones is over 50,000. I just want everybody to sit with that for a second. Anybody listening to this to sit with that for a second. Anyone that thinks that this is a conspiracy theory, to sit with that for a second. Because she had multiple victims sitting behind her that she refused to turn around and look at, that they had not asked the DOJ any questions of these survivors. Yet, she said, we owe this administration an apology because the Dow Jones is over 50,000. And that's what we should be concentrating on. And that statement transcends race, it transcends gender, it transcends everything except for economy.
Yeah, economics.
What that statement says is if you are powerful, then my life is worthless. My children's lives are worthless if you have enough money. And I'm just watching a show right now, and this guy, he wants to build uh, something on his property, and he needs the support of everyone in the neighborhood. And this one woman doesn't want to do it, and he says to her, "Come on, everyone has a price." And that's about property. But while we're thinking about this conversation that we're having, it's insane. It's insane
Is that a
that
TV show
what that I'm watching right
or is it a
now.
reality show?
No, it's a TV show. It's called
Okay, I think I saw that.
The Beast in Me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I just started
Yes.
watching it.
Mhm.
Are you crying?
Mm,
Okay.
mm-mm.
Yeah, Bill, I think ultimately, man, we have to realize that people are sick, man. A lot of people are sick, uh, I say that in the most, guess, respectful manner. But the reality of it is that a lot of people are sick. This world, these illusions, these different things have made people sick. People have been chasing after different things. Uh, Desiring things over one thing and yet over another. And in most cases, it's been our own desires that have gotten us into certain things. We desired certain things. People have sold their soul over certain things. Uh, and uh, uh, and the interesting thing about this, and I know I'm probably gonna, I could possibly get some pushback on this, but I heard this from a woman, is that even for the women out there, unfortunately being SA'd or and things of that nature, you know who the main culprits are?
Other women.
Bingo. And that floored me when I heard that, man.
Well, I mean, who's offending this right now?
I
Pam Bondi, Christy Nome,
Well, yeah,
Ghislaine
absolutely, but I'm
Maxwell.
saying yeah.
It's they. It's actually, you know, it. We would probably call them wingmen. If we were like in
Yeah.
in at a bar, right? But they're like the wingmen. They go out, they make the girls feel comfortable, and then bring them back. Are you okay, for Serenity?
I'm fine. Why do you think I'm not?
Because you started getting fidgety, and I know that we've never talked about this, and I know that you.
No. Oh, no. I've spent hours and hours having this conversation with friends and girlfriends, and no, I'm good.
Okay, I'll be right back. While you guys are talking to each other, um, I want to make sure that you understand that Curtis has a gift. Ask him about it.
What gift is that, Bill?
Tell her.
What gift do you have, Curtis?
I
My hair is brushing
mm,
up. What gift? I
I
want to
don't
know
know
about
what
this
gift he's
gift.
talking about. Yeah, I have no idea what gift
Yeah, I
he's
know what
talking
he's
about.
talking about.
No idea. No idea.
How's the weather in Houston?
It's actually pretty nice. Me and my baby girl are gonna I, actually get ready to go to the store here in just a minute. But yeah, it's actually pretty nice. I think it was near. Let's see.
What store you going to? HEB?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
HEB.
my
Yeah,
favorite store. I
yeah.
swear.
It's a
Like
cool store.
literally, I would tell you when I first moved there, my in-laws were like, "Hey, you have to go to HEB." I was like, "It's a grocery store. Who cares? It's a grocery store. It's not a big
Mm-mm.
deal." After I went, I just fell in love. I mean,
Yeah, same here.
it is top tier. What like
Yeah, same here.
people
Absolutely.
here to be like Whole Foods and Erewhon. Listen. We don't have a HEB. HEBs are top tier.
Yeah.
There's no place you could go and get samples of wine.
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
D
who
do you
has
you
that?
know they're owned by, what is it, it's it, other store really is just kind of the higher end, for HEB, Central Market.
Oh, yeah, I've been to Central Market too. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been to
yeah,
Central Market too.
and I fell in love with Central Market, and, there's not a Central Market close by, actually, more of the Central Markets are actually in Houston, and, that's how I, knew about HEB because matter of fact, I'm from Chicago originally, but I moved up
Okay.
this way from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and there was an HEB that was not far from where I was living at the time, and then I never visited. It was probably maybe about 10 minutes away from me, but when I came down here, met my wife, came down, to Houston area, I seen that obviously there was more HEBs, and, so since I've been visit them, yeah, I'm kind of a HEB snob now. I don't
Oh,
really.
listen, I had relatives come and visit, and literally, like, after they be like, "We're going to HEB while we're here, right?" Absolutely. You think it's like a field trip. Like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah, for
absolutely
sure,
going to HEB.
for
Like,
sure, yeah.
it's
Okay,
It
wonderful.
so first
And
of all,
Central's just high end.
I leave for 10 seconds, but I can hear you guys. And the first thing is, how's the weather? Like, okay. The
Because
second thing is,
Houston has this what if you're
yeah,
not
it's actually almost 80 degrees now,
yeah,
77.
because Houston has this weather that you have to question because, like, literally, it could be like how he said. Because I checked this morning and it was like 72.
why
Mhm,
are you
mhm.
checking what's going on in Houston?
Because I still have family there. I still talk to people on a regular basis, you
Okay.
know?
Mhm.
So, but it could be like that, and the next thing you know, it's storming.
Absolutely.
You know, like, when they say it's gonna rain in Texas, it's going to rain. It's not like California where you may get a couple it's gonna rain.
Yeah,
There's a percentage, it's gonna rain.
yeah.
So it's just
So, and,
different.
and then we went on to HEB. So, what is an HEB?
I
A
don't
grocery
know
store.
what the actual acronym
Grocery
stands for,
store.
but, yeah, it's a grocery store, yeah.
So,
But
what's the
you have to go to experience it. They have great prices, great food quality.
quality?
Quality?
So, okay, so Whole Foods,
Garbage
Mhm.
comparison.
really?
Like, okay, like, for
Okay, give me a
example, I would say, like,
hang on,
their
baby.
Central Market is close to a Whole Foods times the Central, like, I would give Whole Foods, 6 and Central would get a 10.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Yeah,
So then what's
That would be the
HEB?
comparison.
yeah,
Is
I agree with you.
HEB like a Ralph's, or is it like
You
a
can't
Walmart?
no, you have to go. It's really weird. You have to go.
Okay.
They got
Okay.
someone in a food stand giving you samples of, like, doing a whole course meal. Like, there's somebody there with this little microphone on, like, "Hey, you could cook this for dinner tonight," you know, and they give you a little piece of steak, and it's weird, different. 4 choices of wines, and you pick which one of these wines do you wanna try and take home today?
Okay. Very upscale, but great prices.
Yes. Yeah, and this is a regular market. This is not even the Central Market. The Central ones, but the HEB is like the regular market, and it's just
So,
it's
is Central
phenomenal.
Market a part of HEB?
Yeah, they're the main place. They're the upscale version of HEB.
Okay. And is it located in HEB or no?
No, it's this whole separate market.
All right.
Central and HEB, two different markets.
But they're tied.
Yes.
Got it.
It's like Lexus and Toyota. So Central is the Lexus and, HEB is Toyota.
Understood. Both great cars, same
Exactly,
amenities in most
exactly,
cases.
exactly. Just wanted some more upscale.
Yeah.
May have more bells and whistles. You like how it looks better on the outside type of thing.
Yeah, and Toyota will offer you a entry level one where Lexus their entry level is, 40,000, $50,000. I don't know how
Yeah.
much cars cost anymore.
Me neither. I think, when you said that, I said, "I don't think there's anything that low," but anyway.
So, Curtis,
Bill,
thank you so much for staying on my show on Sunday. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
and your feedback, because Curtis is kind of like his gift for me is he's my sometimes my barometer. Um, I don't always go with what he says, by the way, but
You
But he's
rebellious
the
child.
or he's very even killed. He kind of balances you out.
But I'll ask him, and he'll say, you were fine. That point, I wouldn't have pushed as hard, but yeah, I understood where you're going. Or he was like, yeah, you should have, you could have taken a step back. And so
Mhm.
if he says, I'm not going to please everybody, but I was walking a fine line, I mean, he understood that I was trying to measure myself and
You know what
appease
I find
others.
remarkable is because I've always okay, so I'm this type of person. I used to be at 100, Curtis. So, like, if you had something that I didn't agree with, I was at 100, and I was gonna fight you down until somebody gave up, and usually it was not gonna be me.
Where you drew blood.
Yeah, it was not gonna be me, you know? And then I became this person, that I kinda realized I can't change anybody's opinion. I can only have control over myself, right? But in the process of doing that, because, we're older than Rochelle, Curtis, we're older than Rochelle. Uh-huh. I've come to the point that I just cut people off. Like,
You just,
I don't never have to talk to you again.
you
We
just get
don't
right to
never
the
have to.
point. All the other, you just get right to the point. All the other throwing things and yelling at them. The end was you were going to cut them off anyway. So you just cut the middleman.
So, so
It just
now,
doesn't exist anymore. It's
so
cool.
so now you make them want to draw blood from you.
Well, they have no access though. But now there's no access. They're venturing like where the heck happened? Because
Do
now
you
I no longer
ever
give you access.
do you ever invite them back in?
No.
Have you ever encountered them and then thought to yourself, they've grown and
Yeah.
perhaps we should talk?
I've thought about it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I've thought about it. Even recently with my recent situation,
Hmm.
they reached out to me, invited me out for Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. And I thought about it.
But I thought he was back in Texas.
No, he's in Cali.
Okay.
I thought about it.
Is he still gung ho for?
I don't know because
Okay. Why did you think about it? Are you thinking about what made you think about that?
that's kind of hard because literally it was just a thought, but I had
Okay.
more thought on why not to than
Okay.
to.
All right.
So I can't even explain why would I because more of it was like why would I?
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Interesting. Sorry for
And
talking
I
you.
and I think and I think maybe why would I is because I was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we
In the
we go back to
relationship.
something that was comfortable at
Right.
that situation. But at the end, knowing that you're gonna get to the same road at the end of the day didn't make sense.
Yeah. I get that. 100.
You get that 100%?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I've cut off a few people um, but then I think it's that because when I say cut off, I mean like block their numbers.
Mhm.
Um, and then I'm like, you know what? Don't do that. Just don't call them no more. And the reason why I do that is because if I block you in the moment,
See, I never block. I never block.
oh,
I
I do.
never, ever block.
I do not want I do not want your number to come across my phone
Okay.
ever again. or at least in this moment, you know,
Mhm.
because it triggers me for some reason. It's not out of anger, it's more out of self-preservation.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but
Like, I'll unfollow, like, social media, like, I'll unfollow, like, type of thing, and you still pop up, like, but I don't know.
yeah,
I feel like
I
it's
just
giving too
stop
much energy.
engaging.
Huh?
Yeah, I just stop engaging.
Yeah.
You, Curtis,
Easier.
are we horrible people for this?
No, not at all, man. Sometimes it's life. It's life. Sometimes we just, we either don't get along with people, and sometimes it's them, sometimes it's us, you know?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
a
Mhm.
and until we are, I think until we are ready to, face our stuff, we might just have to say, "Hey, you know what? I can't do you right now because I've got my stuff and you can't we can't necessarily depend on them to say, hey, you know what? It's me. you know, let me fix my stuff first." And so I think we have to, as responsible adults, we have to know enough to, or be wise enough to say, hey, you know what? I'm not sure maybe even what it is, but for where we're at right now, we're not making that connection. And sometimes you don't know what it is right away. Sometimes people just trigger us. It's just
Yep,
it's life, man. It's
Yeah.
life, and I think ultimately we just have to come to a consensus in regards to what's right for us.
absolutely. And what I'm gonna say with that is I've noticed a few times that if I wasn't in a negative mental space, then some of the stuff that I've gotten upset about probably wouldn't have bothered me. But because everything is like such a burden, like I just feel everything really heavy on me right now, that one word can set me off. You know,
Well, Bill, a lot of times when, me and the different conversations I've had with past clients and even current clients now, is that a lot of what we are dealing with now, men and women alike, both, that a lot of the things that we're dealing with, it comes not necessarily directly from us, but it comes from the way our parents may have dealt with conflict.
absolutely.
And,
Yeah,
uh,
I would
and
agree.
and because they have not settled the score, it's placed in our lap, and it doesn't necessarily go. It's not necessary just at that one level. It goes back for layers, um, really, because if you think about it, whatever your grandparents didn't settle the score with regards to that emotional capacity, things that we deal with as human beings, the conflict that shows up in life. When we have not been able to wrap our minds and our heads around that and prepare that smooth road, uh, not only for ourselves, we have an opportunity to prepare that smooth road for our for generations to come, the legacy after us. But when we haven't done that, we end up leaving it for our children and so on and so forth. So if you can imagine, you've got your grandparents, you've got your parents, you've got your grandparents, they've got your great grandparents, and you've got their parents, and so on and so forth. So it's a lineage of things that we are having to uh, make our way through well before we can come to a place of knowing what we like. And so a lot of even the conversations that we have are stemming from the DNA that was a part that was a part of us, that's become a part of us.
So can I stop you for a second? Because I want to
Sure,
acknowledge Ms. Main, and
sure.
we should talk about a subject that she brought up, Serenity, which is why Black women don't support other Black women. And
That's a
I
good conversation.
that we'll do that in a minute. And also, Netta Faye is going to be on my show on Sunday,
Mm.
And
Okay.
while she's here, I'm gonna give you guys a little snippet because you know I do like my little intros for my.
What's that conversation gonna be about, Bill, with Netta?
I'll tell you in a second, but let's listen to this. This isn't the finished product. That's the only reason why you can hear it. Hold on. Can you hear it? You be you, 42, daddy. Ooh, be you, 42, daddy. Turn it up now. Let it hit that floor. Good energy. Give me more. So I don't know if I'm going to use that one, but it's basically I'm no longer going to do like Curtis Brooks because I was doing that all last year and I have all these songs that are like, Ms. Main and Curtis Brooks and, Nick. And so the show is going to be about the Book of Burnett, and that's her dad, and the 42 truths that he left with her. And so the song is called UBU 42. So it's not going to be like, oh, this is about Netta Faye, but it's an homage to the topic.
Okay.
And then what the song is about is passing down the torch. But I haven't gotten the beat right. I did it all last night. I've been doing it this morning. Um, but yeah, y'all couldn't really hear it, could you?
It
Yeah,
was
you can
in
hear
and
it.
out, but
In
what
and out.
I could hear, I did like, because
Mhm.
I was trying to exactly figure out who it was similar to, because there was something there that I felt like but I did like it. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. Because you know
Yeah, it
me,
sounds
I'll
good,
tell
man.
you, I'm like, because in the beginning I was like, are you really gonna waste our time with this? But then I heard it and I was like, I like it.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's you always gotta fine tune it, and then how long do you want it to be? And so the Book of Burnett is her dad's story. He died at 90, and so Curtis, most of my music is like, "Don't stop, get it, I wanna rock, I wanna rock." And so I'm like, okay, no, I'm not feeling that for this spiritual show. Right? And so I'm pulling back to like the 70s kind of grooves, Afro beats, but then bringing it into 2026 and having it be more about the voice than the beats. But the beats are going to be there. I mean, it's when it's done, it's going to be great. But yeah, that's just me working on my open. I'm working for you right now, Netta Faye. 'Cause I wanna make sure that when you leave, you feel celebrated and that more people understand who Burnett is and the values that he has instilled in you that you are giving to us.
I love it.
Do you? Imma use that as my promo clip for the show.
Yeah, it sounds like a good show, man. Good conversation.
It is. Maybe you'll come up and say hi to us, Curtis,
Yeah.
as a guest.
I'm looking forward to, that did you mention, what is it, Miss Maine in regards to
Excuse me, but Netta Faye called me big bro. Girl, I am 30 years old.
I was Netta, I was gonna have to interrupt you because he is 20 years younger than anybody on this show. So I don't know.
That's
Who do you
funny.
thought Big Bro was?
Uh-uh.
I knew that was gonna be a conflict.
We gonna have to get that straight before we go live.
And
That's
his kids are
funny.
10 and 12.
You guys are funny. What did you say, Curtis? You're busy on Sunday?
No, he said
Oh,
about Miss Maine.
Yeah, no, I was, gonna, just kinda piggyback on what you said earlier in regards to Miss Maine, and I think you mentioned about, what, Mike?
that's still not good, Netta, because I've lost 30 pounds.
Big number, that's
You're
funny.
just digging that hole deeper, ain't you?
Well, you make sure that, soundtrack is together, Bill.
Huh?
I said, "You make sure that her soundtrack is together, though."
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a different because each show brings a different vibe, right? So
Mhm. Right,
it's
right.
not gonna be like the fire from Sunday. Like on Sunday show, literally the stage caught on fire. Um, so Ms. Maine's question was, and I think I want her to come on and talk about it
Yeah,
because
I wanna
it
hear that
really was her
conversation,
question.
Bill. That's gonna be the I would love to hear that conversation.
Okay, well, let's schedule something with her, me, you, and her,
Yeah.
or
That
me.
that
How
would
many people can we put on a live? I think I can only put 3.
I think it's only 3 for, Substack.
Yeah, unless we do a show about it.
Yeah, I think it would be a great show about it, man, and have some that would be a great conversation, man. A great
Imma tell you,
conversation.
until I lived in, Houston, I never got so much support from Black women. I never experienced before,
Really?
never. Except for people like, like I have like a core women that I've known since elementary school. Like those women totally different. And I swear I wake up every morning and somebody is either sick or die, which is horrible. But when I lived in Houston, the camaraderie was fantastic. I never experienced anything like that. California does not have that at all.
She is actually, Miss Main lives near you. She's in the Bay Area.
She's in the Yay area.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, yeah, it's not here.
but
So
but
question, do Black women even like themselves?
oh, don't go there. I'm not.
I can't speak for Black women. You know what I'm saying? I
Stop.
always
Obviously, it's just a general
but a
it's a
lot of times I would say that we don't, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
Because we're constantly trying to change ourselves to I was actually having a conversation with my mom about that this morning, how
Hold up.
we
Hold up.
always
Hold up.
have
Hold
to
up.
conform.
Hold on. Hold on. So I know Black women that go every Sunday to their Queens group or their Queens brunch, and that's all about lifting each other up. So I think that Black women do love themselves. I
that's
think that
interesting, dude.
others, I think other
See, you
people.
interrupted me with but still that could be superficial. That could be where
Absolutely.
we're
Absolutely.
kikiing over pancakes and grits. You know what I'm saying?
Always
And
good
then as
food,
soon as
always
you
good
drive
food.
away, someone could be like, "Oh, girl,
That
Imma deal with
hardly
that girl next Sunday. I ain't got time to be dealing with her
that
today."
hardly yeah.
Okay, okay. So we're talking about two different things. We're talking about
No, we're not, Bill.
showing up, meaning going to an event, versus being there for each other. And
Showing up for an event is not being there for someone.
Right,
okay,
right.
all right, all right.
I don't consider that being there for someone.
So I'm not a Black woman, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna let
that's
you
what I'm
talk
saying,
about
Bill.
it.
This is a woman telling you, Bill, so, hey, you know what?
Yeah, I need to
It's
shut up and listen.
well, no, I'm not saying shut up. I'm saying, this is a woman that's telling us, and so that's like, just
Yeah.
kinda
See, like I'm telling you, the difference in like Houston, like I could be crying over something,
mhm,
and literally the circle of women that I met there would be like, "Fuck, give me 25 minutes. I'm on my way."
mhm, mhm, mhm.
See,
Here,
like that,
it's
like
like, "Oh, you're gonna be all right, girl,"
reading
or
that as
not
comments.
respond.
So her experience is different. So I always ask this is do Black people support each other in the way that we should? Because in other communities, and we could talk about all of them, right? We talk
Mhm.
about the Asian community, the Jewish community, the Armenian community. They keep those dollars within their community. They support each other's businesses. And within our community, I know that we look for Black owned products, but I know a lot of people that were like when we were boycotting Target, we're like, where am I supposed to go? I gotta go to Target. I'm like, okay.
But you
But
have to realize that a lot of times where those communities can support their stuff, they can still get their stuff at a good price. For some strange reason, This is being completely honest. A lot of times our stuff goes up a lot more when we support each other. Don't know why, but it could be the same product because we weren't able to get the same deal. So we're not
Okay,
able to,
okay. So,
you know
so,
what I'm
so
saying?
you
So a
so
lot of
you do know
times
the reason. You do
about
know the
not
reason.
supporting is a financial situation. It's
But
not
you
that.
do know the reason. The reason is that we're not getting the same prices
Mhm.
that someone else might get because they have the end, and so we're paying more for the product. And just like any business, you're passing that cost over to the
Right.
consumer.
But you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of people, and I understand exactly what both of you are saying, but a lot of people who are the consumers, they don't understand it like that. They don't know how that thing works, and so naturally, going into a black-owned business selling the same product for much higher, we're like, we're looking at it from a perspective that's saying like, well, now why do we have to sell it higher? But to your point, it's because it's been purchased, at a higher price. Okay, okay.
Go ahead and talk to your daughter. Bring her up.
But no,
Mm,
that's mainly it. Because I was watching someone actually complain about that earlier today.
Yeah, I agree with Netta on this one. Like I that's what I see. But I also see that we've also been divided as a community for a long time. And because we've been divided, there are
And
some.
still, like Netta said, that's her circle. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
A lot of people don't have a circle or don't know how to obtain a circle. Like I said, once I got to, like when told people when I got to Texas, I found my tribe. I literally found my tribe. That was the hardest thing about me leaving was because I truly found a tribe. I did. There's someone that was like truly supportive, who
Yeah.
didn't care what was happening with them, and I didn't care what was happening to me. I got you. You
But
know.
that's also in Atlanta. That's also in DC.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
these are
Yes.
4 areas. But I live in Southern Florida. So the culture here is more Latin American, South America, Venezuelan, Argentinian. So they have their community here. I have not found a strong Black community
Yeah. Like my
here.
cousin, he's lived in Miami. I would say at least for the last
But in
12
LA, I had
years.
it. Go ahead.
But he came from California. He moved to Texas, moved to Atlanta, and then he made Miami home, you know. But my cousin is quite affluent. He's in the Millionaires Club. So he surrounds himself with other Black millionaires.
I can hear you, by the way, but I'm gonna go do what I got to do.
So his tribe, whenever I go visit him, I love the connection, but I'm not part of the Millionaire Club.
not yet, at least, right? Not yet, at least, right?
Not a part of your baby okay?
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
Okay.
Yeah, she had to go potty.
She
Yeah,
had business to handle.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, she doesn't like when she
How old is she, Curtis?
she's 2 years old.
Okay, that's a nice age.
Yeah, oof, yeah,
It is
it
because I'm
is.
telling you, when my granddaughter was 2, she got me through COVID. If it will,
Mm.
I swear she was,
Well,
especially working from home, and
right, right, right,
she's
right.
such a bright individual. I just
Yeah,
adore her.
that's the
Her
difference
thought
between a
process. She asked me, um, and she's 6, right?
mm,
She asked me, "Can you tell me again?" This was last Thursday. "Can you tell me again exactly what did Donald Trump do on my birthday?" Her birthday's January 6th.
mm,
So I'm like, "What are you paying this?" I'm like,
that's funny.
her thought process is just so different. What did he actually do on my birthday? So I explained. She said, "So we still don't like him?" I said, "Yes, we still don't." She's so hilarious.
That's
I
funny.
just adore her. Her thought process. While her brother is walking around oblivious and he's double her age.
Mm.
So I love Netta's comment. Curtis, can you read it?
Which one? It's not a
This
question of self-identity if black women like ourselves, black women love ourselves.
No, it's one that's my work to remind us and
Oh,
help walk
yeah,
us back to our original self, whose nature is
communal.
communal. It is not a question of self-identity if black women like ourselves, black women love ourselves. So, Ms. Main, this was
Mm,
going back to your comment about that's what started the question, and Curtis thinks that we should do a show about it. That's what
yeah.
Curtis said, because we can only get 3 people on this stage. Uh, and you were asking why black women seem to not support your page, or I don't remember exactly what your question was. So if I got it wrong, please correct me. Oh, I have to run.
Runs.
Happy to have a
Mm,
longer conversation about the Postman. Yes, ma'am. Let's do it.
yeah,
Bye. I
yeah.
love her. You've met her before, Curtis.
I have, absolutely.
Um,
But, really quick here, I kind of prescribe to what, Serenity was saying earlier. A lot of times, obviously, I'm not a woman, but, I've met a lot of women who outwardly, say, "Oh, black women, we gotta stick together. We love ourselves and blah, 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 and this and that." And under different circumstances, it was completely the opposite. And,
so
I've seen
you're saying the actions speak louder than words.
absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. And you know
But
what?
is
The thing,
that but is that a black people problem? Is that a woman problem? Is that a global issue? Is that an American black African American issue? You know,
you're going too far in the topic, real. We can't cure a world problem till we got to start off with just one step at a time. I can't speak for all women, yet alone for all women across, the
why not? You
world,
should be this. You
you
I think
basically.
know.
I think
And then
it's a
also,
defense
we have this
mechanism.
younger generation growing up.
I think it's a
Because
defense
remember we talked
mechanism.
about bonnets and wigs and
Mhm.
all those things that we have young women that feel like they have to convert or not.
Mhm.
Because I grew up, you had to be presentable when you walked out the door.
Yeah, for
You
sure,
know,
sure.
that's not the same. I understand things change. But I know I turn my nose down whenever I see a young lady walk out the house with bonnet and pajamas on. I do.
That's because that's because you look at it and you say that's not the best reflection of our community.
Right,
That's how you look at it. And I think that I've learned to look at it a little bit differently in my old age, which is that woman is preparing for her wedding. She's running to the market to grab some nail polish because her grandma didn't do get the right color, so she needs to do it herself. And she got her hair in the bun to keep it looking good, so that when she does go to do it, it's not it's the humidity hasn't gotten to it, whatever. Or in the case of the airplane, I'm gonna sleep like this in my bonnet on the plane, and when I get off that plane, I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna do
And
my
that's
hair.
what and that's
Look
the
great.
norm. That's the norm. That's the norm that you wear it while you're on the plane. But you're not wearing it through the airport. I'm offended. Like even like when my son, when he wants to wear a do-rag, I'm offended. Like, hey, now we're out the car. Why do we still have this do-rag?
Offended.
I am. I really am. I'm sorry. I'm offended.
It's okay.
Especially
It's
when,
okay.
like, for example, those stepchildren in place where I know you haven't combed your hair in 2 or 3 days. That's the reason why
But
you have a
but
bonnet and not combed, you washed it and that was it. And so you just put the bonnet on it.
but that's your husband's responsibility to make sure that the kids comb their hair. in 3 days because you were picking them up from their moms, right?
Mhm.
So that's a different issue. That's
What do you say, Bill? That's a parenting issue.
it honestly
I just come from the generation, when my grandmother told me, "Make sure you have a clean underwear when you walk out the
Mhm.
door." So you had to make
yeah.
sure that you're presentable when you walked out the door. And I understand, and like I told you, I understand that's not how people are these days. And I understand it. But doesn't mean I have to like it, but I understand it.
See, Netta Faye is on your side with this one, Serenity. She said, "I am on Team Serenity with this one."
Yeah,
How
with
I show
intention. Exactly. It's because no matter what anyone says, people are going to make an opinion on you based on how you look when you walk out the door. May be right, may it be wrong. That's just how it is.
but then where do you draw that line? All right. So
Doesn't mean I'm not going to talk to you.
no,
Doesn't
no,
mean
no,
I'm
no,
not going to
no.
communicate with you. It's just based off the fact that I have literally made an opinion about you. You may open your mouth and I may change it, but my first interaction has made me like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?"
So like 20 years ago, maybe even or 25 years ago, we in America had to introduce the Crown Act because they didn't like the way we wore our hair.
Yeah, but not in California. That was other states. So in being from California, I always saw people wear their hair wherever, whatever way they chose to.
Right,
You
right,
have to
right, right.
realize we never experienced that.
Right,
But
right.
I know other
But
states
it had
did
to be done.
experience that whatsoever. But my fact is that I still don't want anyone showing up at work with a bonnet on.
Okay, so let's take it one step further. All right. So what if it's ooh, I'm gonna get my ass in trouble. What if it's a rat? Like a really pretty African rat. Are you good with
You
that?
you just said wrap and bonnet. Yeah, I'm okay with wrap, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like people wear
Okay.
hijabs. I'm okay with your hijab. You know what I'm saying? I'm most definitely okay with that.
You just don't like the leopard print bonnet.
No, it has nothing to do with being leopard. I just feel I've never seen, and this is just my perspective. I've never seen anyone with okay, for example, if I see someone with a hijab on, they don't have pajamas on. You know what I'm saying? They Have you ever seen someone out with a hijab and pajamas? No,
I
you
I
don't have
I
to
I
think
don't think
hard.
I've ever paid attention
See, my thing is that it's not just the bonnet. I've never seen someone with a bonnet and the rest of them are put together.
because most of the time bonnets are when you sleep, right? So
Right, exactly,
usually,
exactly, exactly, exactly.
so how many times have I, many times, thrown on my hat, slept in some shorts and a t-shirt, and need toothpaste, throw
Exactly, exactly, Nan. In
throw
fact,
on some
house
throw on some
slippers, you don't
flip-flops.
wear them outside the house. My
No,
mom was like, yes,
throw on some
completely.
flip-flops and go to the store to get the toothpaste. I would literally do that.
Look at As a woman, I've literally done the same thing with a baseball cap. What are you talking about? But some intent, literally, even when I decide that I'm walking out the door bummy, there is a thought process behind it.
Mhm.
So what's the purpose of a bonnet? Maybe that'll help me and Curtis because I don't really I know what it looks like. I used to think there were shower caps, but what's the practical use of a bonnet?
It's to keep your hair protected.
Yeah, preserve your hair. Yeah.
Okay.
It's to keep your hair protected. So it's supposed to be like silk scarves, all those particular things. On my hair, they don't work. I get an adverse effect.
What
I'll
happens
wake
to
up
your head?
looking just as crazy.
No,
Maybe I'm jealous. Maybe that's what it is. The bonnet doesn't work for me, and I'm
I think we have
jealous.
figured it out, y'all.
out. That's what it is. It doesn't
You
work.
know you know what I think it is? Bonnet or no bonnet, because, some of the brothers out here just,
Oh, yeah, they're starting to wear bonnets too. Yeah, yeah, I see.
yeah, they wear bonnets too, and they just, I think it's just an image thing. I think it's just, oftentimes, or just throughout this life, we as, Black people, we've got so much pushback, on different things in regards to, being able to be ourselves. And if that means that, and again, I'm just tossing this out here, but if that means that I can wear this bonnet for a woman wearing that bonnet, or a man wearing a bonnet, or dressing, inappropriately, going to the airport, or whatever the case might be, I think we've gotten so much pushback on different things. It's us pushing back now against the system, if you will. If that makes sense. And again, right or wrong, I think that's just kind of how I see it.
But you know for a fact that in 2 to 3 years, someone who watched this is going to come out with an entire outfit with matching bonnets, and it's gonna be white people walking around in them. And it's gonna be like all of a sudden, it's the trend. Just like in the '80s,
Yeah, I can picture
the
Well,
that.
they
big
they're
big
trying to wear
oversized
the bonnet, and people are
huh?
getting very offended because literally it'll have the adverse effect. It's not gonna protect their hair. It's not the same. It's not the same. It has to be beneficial. It's like did you see that woman who got the braids and she lost all of her hair?
This is why I can't have conversations with you. Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
So so she was the whole time, she was like one of those, she was a FO, you know.
F-O, find
FAFO,
out.
FAFO, you know.
Okay. Yes, go
So she
ahead.
was all on her podcast about how she should be able to wear braids. We don't own braids. And I'm fine with that. I don't think we own anything, you know what I'm saying? And she was tossing her braids and, and this is what I do. And then she took her braids down, okay? Because you don't know anything about braids, right? She took her braids down and she got in the shower. And that hair locked up and matted on her. Because no one told her,
Right.
you gotta comb that out. You gotta comb it out. So literally she went from hair that was this long all the way down to hair that was this long. She had it.
Okay, so I'm confused. Did you understand what you just said, Curtis?
I do.
So if I have braids in my hair, so I don't have hair, so there you go, and I take them out, I have to brush out my hair before I go into the shower to wash it?
Well, if it depends on what texture your hair is, but if you're, ideally talking about a Black woman who's, not all Black women, but, Black woman whose hair texture is more curly than others, yeah, absolutely. So that
You
may have
gotta
been
comb it out. You gotta brush
yeah,
it out.
that may have been the
From the
situation.
finest to the fine, you
Yeah,
you
yeah,
you will lose hair. Like for
right.
example, when I get braids, the max I can do is 3 weeks, or I will lose so much hair. It's crazy.
Now is that because of the
While some
pulling?
people can keep their braids in for months and they're fine.
Is that because of the pulling too, or the other stuff that he
It
put in
has
your
something
hair?
to do with the fine texture. It starts to curl around the hair.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, so I get that little mask of little curls around it that it
Mhm.
tries to, it
Tries
comes
to
out the braid
yeah,
and
it
then it
tries to
starts
lock
to,
up. Yeah,
mhm,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
stuff, and then it's just, yeah.
Mhm.
And people are like, it looks so well, but no, no.
Right.
I think that keeps them looking fresh, though. Aren't braids hard on your hair? Because don't they pull out your edges?
Well, now the new thing is that because, I was getting knotless. So when you do knotless braids, it starts off just with your hair. Before, when people used to do like the box braid, they would start off with the extension. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So that of course caused more weight, you know. But you're supposed to get someone who actually truly knows what they're doing because too much weight is gonna cause
Yeah.
the pulling and
So it's not braiding it too
alopecia.
tight. It's the weight of the braid too?
Well, I don't you know what? In regards to braiding tight, I think it may be a thing in the past, but I don't know. But that's going to someone that's probably just like, "I can braid your hair." But most people these days, like every time I've gotten my hair braided, they always ask, "Is that too tight?"
How do you sit through that?
You turn on Netflix, sit through it.
I couldn't. I've watched it
Bill,
being
you don't have
done.
any hair, so you can't say what you could and what you couldn't do.
I could tell you that I can get my hair braided faster than you could, because all I need to
Oh,
do
that's
is
funny.
find myself a little cap,
Little
put it
weave, and
on,
you be good.
and I'll be good. Only thing that I would get haters because people don't realize I'm black sometimes. So like, why is this Puerto Rican out here with braids? I'm like, I'm not Puerto Rican.
No, Imma tell you, my uncle, he used to always get mistaken for being anything but black, right?
It's annoying.
And my mom's brother, and he lived in Atlanta, right? And I remember one time he called me and told me that he needed someone. I don't know why he called me because I'm in California, but he needed someone to go pick up his car. I think he called me because he was drunk. 'Cause my uncle used to always be drunk, right? But mind you, he's driving his car drunk. His passenger is a regular black guy, right?
What's a regular black guy?
He's just a black man. Just a black man. You
Okay.
know, my uncle's a regular black man too, except that they didn't know that he's just all black. They just made an assumption based off of complexion,
Right, like
right?
me.
And that he basically has like fairly straight hair, you know. So, even though it's thinning. Anyway, long story short, they let my uncle walk home and they arrested his passenger. And my uncle was the one that got the DUI. He was the one driving drunk. That tells you about privilege. His passenger did nothing. He might have been drunk too, but he's on the passenger side of his best friend ride.
You know, I feel that. I feel that.
Like for example, like Morgan, she used to get so offended when someone assumed she was mixed. I
They
mean,
don't know. They just think because we're
just
pale that we have to be mixed with something else. And I get into this argument so often, and at one point I started just lying. Okay, I'm black and Mexican, or I'm black and because they were like, you have to be mixed with something else. I'm like, no, it's just two yellow people got
and in
together,
Morgan's case, it wasn't even the case. It just happened that she just was on the lighter
generational.
side.
Yeah.
Because I'm most definitely brown, brown, brown. But she would be so offended. I remember, like, she was in college, someone called her mulatto. A professor called her mulatto. She was so hot. She went to the dean.
Why? Is
Because
more
Morgan is fight
inspiring
the
like
power,
me?
fight the powers. That's always been her.
Good.
Yes.
Good. We
Yes.
have to we have to stand up for each other. And we have to make sure that the world understands the beauty that we bring into it
Yes, absolutely.
and stop being silenced. Because the narrative created around who we are, and I believe this brings it back full circle. The narrative created about who we are has not been created by us. So you get upset when you see someone in a bonnet because you're like, we are so far past that. Why are you bringing us back? I think that's why you get mad because you understand the struggle that it took. That in the '60s and in the '70s, that we were wearing suits so that we
That part.
we
That
look
when we walked
dignified.
out,
It,
I
our
mean, because
Sunday
we're
best.
already the style that everyone wants to copy anyway. You know what I'm saying? We're the blueprint.
Yep.
And that's not a blueprint I want people to even think that that's acceptable.
And so that I think that brings it back to why you get so triggered when you see a bonnet because you're like we're supposed to represent ourselves better. And it's just like the Obamas. They have to be 10 times better than anybody else to get half the recognition. Half of it. And even then, they are still trying to tear down their reputation, and they can. They
Yeah,
can. Y'all know if Barack or Michelle were in those files, they'd be under the jail.
yeah,
At the same time,
yeah.
our first lady came through the island. That's how she got here, and it's documented. But no, don't nobody have a problem with that. Anyway, I am at 4%. So let's have our final thoughts for the moment. We'll start with the diva that has shown up for today's show. I appreciate that
Whatever.
so much,
Whatever.
Serenity. I can only see half your face. Can you scoot
I
up a
know.
little bit? Oh, okay.
I'm aware.
Okay.
You are too much. Anyway, my last word of the day is that as we proceed through this week, have understanding. You told me that today. Have understanding. Kind words for each other. Recognize that just because you're in this situation right now, other people don't know that you're in this situation. So have kind words. Don't take it personally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this comes from someone that woke up this morning and said, I hate you to me. But okay, we'll leave that one alone. Over to you, Curtis.
Yeah, I would say,
She
yeah.
didn't she didn't say no, he's lying.
Well, Bill, she hadn't had her coffee either, so, you know.
Oh yeah, that okay. So so so
I'm
that'll
joking, I'm joking.
that'll be the excuse when you punch someone at Starbucks. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I hadn't had my coffee, and Curtis said,
That's funny.
Curtis said that's my get out of jail free card.
No, I'll be like
Yeah,
that guy that said that someone had to buy his drink. A white person had to buy his drink
I
because it's Black
saw
History
that.
Month.
I
See,
saw that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he went to Starbucks. He ordered something, and then he said, "It's Black History Month,
he's
so
like,
this
he's
white
paying
guy's
for
gonna
it.
pay
Black
for
History
it."
Month.
And he stood back, and the guy looked like, "Am I supposed to pay for it?"
He's like,
And
yes, Black History Month.
and and somebody else actually said, "You know what? I'll buy it."
They'll buy it. Yeah, someone paid
Oh,
for it.
that's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Go
So
ahead, Curtis.
this is how it's going down.
You got
This
the
is what we
shortest
do
mic.
during
Power to
Black
the
History
people.
Month, huh? But yeah, it's been a great conversation. I think that's what Netta said. I agree. A great conversation, and looking forward to some uh, much more deeper conversations as well. I think overall we have to know as people of color, not just Black people, but just people of color, that there's a system out there, and I think that more we can understand the rather than trying to look at the fruit from the tree, such as the bonnets. Again, that's the fruit that we oftentimes are talking about. We need to look at really more the deeper message. I think Netta said earlier, what is it? Colonial something. She had mentioned.
I
You know,
saw it earlier.
yeah, you saw it earlier. Yeah, so I definitely agree with her on that one. So I think this is just a bigger message, and we can unfortunately get caught up in looking at the things that seemingly are important. We can find ourselves getting caught up in the again the uh, all the trees, for so to speak. Rather than uh, looking at it a bird's eye view and what's really happening. And I think that's a lot of times that's what they throw at us, is just a lot of the small things, and we find ourselves just going after those things and getting entangled in those things, and forgetting there's a bigger message. So
And I'm gonna leave with this. Netta Faye, the Book of Burnett,
mm.
Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, UBU Live. Curtis will be there in the audience. He might come up. Curtis, Ms. Main said that we need to talk about this further. I agree with you. We could do a whole show around it. And I don't do repeat guests, but let's do a repeat guest on this one. So I'm down. The question is, do we end Black History Month with it, or do we bring it into March? I think we should bring it into March. I think the Black history, I think we should end on just the positivity of what we've done. And in March, we can bring in like how we support each other. And we should make every month Black History Month.
I agree. I concur.
Absolutely. I agree as well.
Xerox. Xerox.
Xerox.
Xerox.
All right. With that said, you guys do not forget UBU Live Sunday at 4 p.m. Serenity, you can join in, but if we do build a show around this, you're gonna have to be a guest.
All right, sounds great. No, sounds
What?
great.
Okay. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
All right, love you. Bye.